Apocryphal book, the testaments of the 12 patriarchs, the testament of Yishashakar, the fifth son of Jacob and Leah, the copy of the words of Yishashakar. For he called his sons and said to them, "Hearken, my children, to Yishashakar, your father." For he called his sons and said to them, "Give ear to the words of him who is beloved of Yahweh. I was born the fifth son to Jacob by way of hire for the mandrakes. For Rabban, my brother, brought in mandrakes from the field, and Rachel met him and took them. And Rabban wept, and at his voice Leah, my mother, came forth. Now these mandrakes were sweet-smelling apples which were produced in the land of Haran, below a ravine of water. And Rachel said, I will not give them to you, but they shall be to me instead of children. For Yahweh has despised me, and I have not borne children to Jacob. Now there were 2 apples, and Leah said to Rachel, Let it suffice you that you have taken my man. Will you also take these? And Rachel said to her, You shall have Jacob this night for the mandrakes of your son. And Leah said to her, Jacob is mine, for I am the woman of his youth. And Rachel said, Boast not, and vaunt not yourself, for he espoused me before you. And for my sake he served our father 14 years. And had not craft increased upon the earth, and wickedness of men prospered, you would not now see the face of Jacob. Then appeared to Jacob an angel of Yahweh, saying, 2 children shall Rachel bear, inasmuch as she has refused company with her man and has chosen contingency. And had not Leah, my mother, paid the 2 apples for the sake of his company, she would have borne 8 sons. For this reason she bore 6, and Rachel bore the 2. For on account of the mandrakes, Yahweh visited her. For he knew that for the sake of children she wished to company with Jacob, and not for lust or pleasure. For on the morrow also she began and gave up Jacob because of the mandrakes. Therefore Yahweh hearkened to Rachel. For though she desired them, she did not eat them, but offered them in the house of Yahuwah, presenting them to the priest of Elua, who was at that time. When therefore I grew up, my children, I walked in uprightness of heart, and I became a husbandman for my father and for my brethren, and I brought in fruits from the field according to their season. And my father baruched me, for he saw that I walked in rectitude before him, and I was not a busybody in my doings, nor envious and malicious against my neighbor. I never slandered anyone, nor did I censure the life of any man, walking as I did in singleness of eye. Therefore, when I was 35 years old, I took to myself a woman for my labor wore away my strength, and I never thought upon pleasure with women. But owing to my toil, sleep overcame me, and my father always rejoiced in my rectitude, because I offered through the priest to Yahweh all first fruits, then to my father also. And Yahweh increased 10,000-fold his benefits in my hands. And also Yaakov, my father, knew that Alua aided my singleness. For on all the poor and oppressed I bestowed the good things of the earth in the singleness of my heart. Now hearken to me, my children, and walk in singleness of your heart. I have seen it all that is well-pleasing to Yahweh. The single-minded man covets not gold. He does not overreach his neighbor. He does not long after manifold dainties. He does not delight in varied apparel. He does not desire to live a long life, but only waits for the will of Alua, and the Ruhas of deceit have no power against him, for he does not look on the beauty of women. He does not gaze, he does not get stuck marveling at them, lest he should pollute his mind with corruption. There is no envy in his thoughts. No malicious person makes his soul to pine away, nor worry with insatiable desire in his mind. For he walks in singleness of soul, and beholds all things in uprightness of heart, shunning eyes made evil through the error of the world, lest he should see the perversion of any of the commandments of Yahweh. Guard therefore, my children, the Torah of Alua, and get singleness, and walk in guilelessness, and walk in guilelessness, and walk without guile, not playing the busybody with the busyness of your neighbor, but love Yahweh and your neighbor. Have compassion on the poor and weak. Bow down your back unto husbandry, and toil in labors and all manner of husbandry, offering gifts to Yahweh with thanksgiving. For with the first fruits of the earth will Yahweh bless you, even as he blessed all the set apart upright from Havel even until now. For no other portion is given unto you than the fatness of the earth, whose fruits are raised by toil. For our father Jacob baruched me with blessings of the earth and of first fruits. And Louis and Yehuda were glorified by Yahweh, even among the sons of Jacob, for Yahweh gave them an inheritance, and to Louis he gave the priesthood, and to Yehuda the kingdom. And ye therefore obey them, and walk in the singleness of your father. For unto Gad has it been given to him to destroy the troops that are coming upon Yisrael. Know ye therefore, my children, that in the last times your sons will forsake singleness, and will cleave unto insatiable desire, and leaving walking without guile, and will draw near to malice, and forsaking the commandments of Yahweh. They will cleave unto Baal, and leaving husbandry, they will follow after their own wicked devices, and they shall be dispersed among the other nations, and shall serve their enemies, and Do you therefore give these commands to your children, that if they sin, they may more quickly return to Yahweh? For he is merciful and will deliver them and even bring them back into their land. Behold, therefore, as ye see, I am 126 years old and am not conscious of committing continuous sins. Except my woman, I have not known any woman. I have never committed fornication by the uplifting of my eyes. I drank not wine to be led astray thereby. I coveted not any desirable thing that was my neighbor's. Guile arose not in my heart. A lie did not pass through my lips. If any man was in distress, I joined my sighs with his, and I shared my bread with the poor. I wrought righteousness. All my days I kept truth. I loved Yahweh. Likewise also every man with all my heart. So do you also do these things, my children, and every Ruah of Baal shall flee from you, and no deed of wicked men shall rule over you. And every wild beast shall ye subdue, since you have with you the Aluah of heaven and earth, and walk with men in singleness of heart. And having said these things, he commanded his sons that they should carry him up to Hebron and bury him there in the cave with his fathers. And he stretched out his feet and died at a good old age, with every limb sound, and with the strength abated, he slept the eternal sleep. Again he said, love Yahweh with all your heart, and walk in singleness in him, and all wicked ruah and evil schemes of men shall flee from you and not rule over you. And you shall subdue the beasts of the earth, for the Aluah of heaven and earth walk with those who truly love Yahweh and are single